Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever thought about working abroad and wondered how to adapt to a new work culture? If you have, you're not alone. Many are enticed by the prospect of working in a foreign land, but it often comes with its own set of challenges. These hurdles can range from understanding cultural nuances like greetings, work hours, and communication styles, to building relationships with your colleagues through small talk and finding common interests. At times, the language barrier can also pose a significant challenge. Learning common workplace phrases and effectively communicating your ideas can be a daunting task, but worry not. With the right tools and mindset, you can navigate these challenges and thrive in your new work environment. In the next few minutes, we will explore how one person navigated these challenges successfully. So sit back, relax, and let's embark on this journey towards understanding, adapting, and ultimately succeeding in a new work culture abroad. Imagine stepping into your new office abroad and you're greeted with a gesture you're not familiar with. Picture this. You're Alice, a well-qualified professional who's just landed a dream job in Japan. As you enter your new office for the first time, you're greeted with a bow instead of the handshake you're used to. This is your first taste of the cultural differences you'll encounter. Indeed, greetings can vary dramatically from one culture to another. In some places, a firm handshake is the norm, while in others, a bow or even a cheek kiss might be customary. Alice, for instance, had to quickly learn to reciprocate the respectful bow of her Japanese colleagues. Work hours, too, can be vastly different in other countries. In Spain, for example, the traditional workday is split by a lengthy siesta in the afternoon. Alice, on the other hand, found that her Japanese colleagues often stayed late at the office, reflecting the country's culture of hard work and dedication. She had to adjust her schedule accordingly, and also learn to respect the work-life balance norms of her new environment. Communication styles are another crucial aspect of work culture. While some cultures value directness and assertiveness, others might consider these traits rude or aggressive. In Japan, Alice discovered that indirect communication is preferred, with people often speaking in a roundabout way to avoid conflict. She had to learn to read between the lines and understand the unspoken rules of communication. And let's not forget about humor. What's considered funny in one culture might not translate well in another. Alice had to be mindful of this when engaging with her colleagues, ensuring her jokes didn't inadvertently offend. Through all these experiences, Alice learned that understanding cultural differences isn't just about avoiding faux pas. It's about showing respect for your colleagues' customs and traditions and acknowledging the value of their unique perspectives. Adapting to these cultural differences can be challenging, but it is essential for a smooth transition to your new work environment. Building relationships with your new colleagues can be a daunting task, especially when you're in a foreign country. But fear not. Let's explore how you can navigate this vital aspect of adapting to a new work culture. Small talk is often a big deal. It's a simple yet effective tool to break the ice and initiate a conversation. A casual chat about the weather, recent sporting events, or popular local cuisine can pave the way for more meaningful interactions. It's a universal language of sorts, helping you connect with your colleagues on shared experiences even in a foreign country. Finding common interests is another crucial step in building relationships. Do you share a love for football with a colleague? Or perhaps a mutual interest in photography? These shared interests can serve as a bridge, connecting you with your colleagues beyond the confines of work. But remember, it's not just about you finding common ground with them. Encourage your colleagues to share about their interests too. Show genuine curiosity about their hobbies, their culture, and their experiences. This two-way interaction fosters mutual respect and understanding, which are the cornerstones of any strong relationship. Networking is more than just exchanging business cards. It's about creating a support system within your workplace. Participate in social events organized by your office. Volunteer for projects that give you the opportunity to work with different teams. These experiences not only broaden your professional network, but also provide a sense of belonging in your new work environment. In the process, remember to be patient and respectful. Building relationships takes time. It's a journey filled with learning, understanding, and adapting. There will be moments of awkwardness, misunderstandings, and even cultural blunders. But that's all part of the process. And it's these experiences that ultimately strengthen your bond with your colleagues. In conclusion, building relationships with your colleagues is not a one-time task. It's an ongoing process that requires effort, understanding, and a dash of courage. Whether it's through small talk, finding common interests, or networking, every interaction is a step towards creating a positive and rewarding work experience in your new environment. Remember, building strong relationships in your new workplace is key to your success. Language can be a significant barrier when working abroad, but don't let this discourage you. Adapting to a new language, especially in a professional setting, can be daunting. It's like learning to swim in a sea of unfamiliar words and phrases. But rest assured, with patience, practice, and a little bit of courage, you'll be swimming with the current in no time. One of the first things you can do to overcome language challenges is to familiarize yourself with common workplace phrases. These include greetings, introductions, and phrases you might use in meetings or when discussing projects. For example, terms like touch base, circle back, or moving forward are frequently used in professional settings. But remember, language is not just about vocabulary. It's about clear communication. And clear communication often means keeping it simple. Avoid jargon or complicated constructions when you can. Instead, use plain, straightforward language. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't understand something. It's better to ask a seemingly silly question than to nod along and risk a misunderstanding later. And here's a little secret. Perfect grammar is not as important as you might think. Of course, strive to be as accurate as possible, but don't let the fear of making a mistake hold you back from communicating. Most people will appreciate your efforts, and patience is a common virtue in such situations. Another key aspect of handling language challenges is to listen. Listen to how your colleagues speak, how they use language in different contexts. This will not only help you pick up new words and phrases, but also give you a better understanding of the work culture. Lastly, don't forget the power of nonverbal communication. A smile, a nod, or a simple thumbs up can sometimes convey more than words. It can help bridge the gap when words fail or when language barriers seem too high. While language challenges can be intimidating, it's all part of the journey of working abroad. Remember, every challenge overcome is a step forward in this exciting adventure. So take a deep breath, dive in, and let the language sea carry you forward. Adapting to a new work culture when working abroad can seem overwhelming. But remember, we've discussed some key strategies to help you get your footing. Understanding cultural differences such as greetings, work hours, and communication styles is your first step. It's like learning the rules of a new game. Once you know them, you can play confidently. Next, we've highlighted the importance of building relationships with your colleagues. Small talk and finding common interests can be your building blocks to creating a supportive network in your new workplace. Remember, we're all human, and connections go beyond borders and languages. Speaking of language, we've also discussed common workplace phrases and tips for communicating clearly. Language challenges can seem daunting, but with practice and patience, you'll soon be able to express yourself effectively. Let's take inspiration from those who've successfully adapted to a new work culture abroad. Their experiences show that it's not only possible, but also an enriching journey. Remember, with patience and perseverance, you too can navigate the challenges of adapting to a new work culture.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level B1. Adapt. Adapt to adjust or change to fit new conditions. Example, it can take time to adapt to a new work culture. Work culture. Work culture, the values, practices, and environment in a workplace. Example, every company has a different work culture. Communication style. Communication style, how people share information and express ideas. Example, understanding communication styles helps in a new workplace. Hierarchy. Hierarchy, the levels of power and authority in an organization. Example, some workplaces have a strict hierarchy. Colleague. Colleague, a person you work with, coworker. Example, I learned a lot from my colleagues in the new office.